Hey guys, so we're going to talk about Xcaret, Mexico, which is a hotel that I stayed at. That's the best resort that you could find. This resort is so amazing. I became a social network marketer just so that I could talk about it. I was selling it to other friends. I actually talked one of my friends into going, and I love vacation and I love exploring, and so I started my social media with that. Make sure you read my blog because I have a blog at magictravels.com. Magic with a J will explain to you international travels. So it's going to tell you all the things that you need to know, all of the websites you need to go to, and that's just too long of a video to pack all of that in. So if you're going to be traveling outside of the country for this first time, you're going to want to read that blog. As soon as you arrive to the airport, you are going to go through customs, you're going to go through the luggage area, and then you're going to come out to where there's a sea of people who are wearing like red shirts, and they're going to try to sell you different packages. But if you already have a hotel package, you can just walk through those people and go out to your ride. Your ride is going to be an XCARET person. They have a sign, they probably have a pink t-shirt, they like pink, but you're going to see somebody holding the Hotel XCARET sign, and they'll have a clipboard, and they'll see your name, and they'll sign you in. And when they sign you in, they may or may not on the bus explain everything. Sometimes they do it on the bus, sometimes they do it at the hotel. It depends on how busy it is. So they're going to check you in, they're going to get you your information, they're going to give you bracelets. And your bracelet now becomes quite a few things. It's going to become your room key, you can put payment on your bracelet, and it's going to be your selfie taker. So all over all of the parks and the hotels, there are selfie stations where you just scan your bracelet and it takes a picture of you. It's this really cute place, and it helps not to have your phone when you're out in the middle of the jungle, you know? Any place that you have helmet at, your helmet is actually your selfie takers. So there's chips in your helmet that will scan and take pictures of you while you're doing all of those activities as well. So it's pretty cool. All of the restaurants and drinks are included at the parks that you go to. Most of the parks have food. A couple of them are like short parks, like Senses. They didn't have any food that was included, but all of the other parks do. Not only food is included, but if there's alcohol there, it's also included. At Xcaret, there's only a couple of restaurants that are included, but the other parks, it's fair game for whatever you want and alcohol-wise. Now, you can upgrade your alcohol, but I did fine on the alcohol that was there, and the food was great. You can get multiple options. As far as the hotel goes, the hotel has a huge amount of things to do alone. You don't even need to leave the hotel to have fun. There's paddleboarding, there's surfing, they even have bicycles there, and there's like this giant chessboard and all kinds of really different beautiful places you can take photos. And bonus, if you buy the photo package at the parks, you get the hotel package included. So whatever photos that you take at the hotel with your bracelet, those are already included. And if you're not sure if you want to take those photos and really buy them or not, guess what? They play them on your TV at night. They leave little gifts on your hotel bed at night to say thank you for being part of a family. Everyone that meets you and greets you will be part of your family. So one of the things that Xcaret is different for is they're all-inclusive, because it's not just an all-inclusive, it's an all-fun inclusive. So I didn't just get food and drinks like the normal parks. I got everything. I'm going to show you slides of each of the parks of my favorite photos. So the first park is This is XCARET Park, and it's the main park that most people actually know about. And this park has so many different circuits that I've been there about 6 or 7 times in total, and I haven't been to all of the areas there. There's an underground river that's like a mile long. It's probably longer than a mile. They do kilometers. There are animals and wildlife. There's flora and fauna everywhere. They have a spiral staircase of beautiful, amazing like art pieces of a cemetery. There are plenty of shops that have handmade items, crafted things made by Mexican and Mayan people. There are amazing classes, like there's even a chocolate class, like how to make your own chocolate. So this place definitely isn't a park for just swimming, right? It's got all kinds of different stuff. The next park we're going to talk about is probably my favorite park. It's Senses. Senses really is about all of your senses, and I really like to think of it as its own wonderland, because everything there is just like this mind explosion of notice everything that's going around you, and it's such an experience. I've never had any experience like that. And not only is it a great experience, but it's great photo opportunities. So here are some of my fun photos that I really, really love of this place. It starts when you go into the bathroom. Like you have to walk under a ladder. It says men to the left because women are always right. It's adorable. It says normal is boring. There's all kinds of photo opportunities. And one of the coolest things about this place is it's a full experience. So not only are there photo opportunities, but you're actually out there going and doing stuff. There's a bird flight, there's a water slide, there's a mud river, there's a salt river, there's a sauna, there's a rock cave with salt. There's even a completely black pitch experience that you throw yourself into a tunnel and it's pitch black and you have to get all the way down the tunnel without seeing anything, but you experience everything around you. Smells, sounds, everything, even your bare feet on the floor, your hands on the side of the walls. You're going through different ecosystems. It's amazing. It really is. There's a lot of safety procedures involved, so don't be worried about anything like that. The next park we're going to talk about is Xavage. And when I say Xavage, I mean it's savage, okay? So first of all, here it is. Right. So Xavage is one of the places that's like extreme sports, okay? When we're talking about extreme sports, we are talking about extreme speedboats. We are talking about jungle gyms on ropes up in the air, all the way up in the air, no net, like you're just hooked onto stuff. We're talking about a bird flight that goes through like 8 different courses. We're talking about canoeing in the middle of the rain. We're talking about rapids and rafting in Mexico, okay? That's what we're talking about. And not only is this a cool place to visit, but they actually turned this dump into a park. XCARET and their founder, they went in and they cleaned up this area and they made it into a park. And they really recycled as much as they could. They're all about helping their community and giving back to it, and I just love it. All right, the next park we're gonna go to is Xplor. Because you explore in the jungle. There is a mile-long zipline circuit. I ziplined through a ring of fire. I went through Xplor Fuego because there's actually Xplor twice. They do it during the day, there's longer courses, more things to do, and then at night they shorten it a little bit so that you can have a night experience, but everything is lit up by fire and it's beautiful. It's called Xplor Fuego, right? So at this park, you've got all kinds of stuff. There's stalactites coming down from the caves. You have to wear a helmet the entire time that you're there because everything is like extreme sports, right? So one of the things that was pretty cool over at Xavage was this giant vehicle that was like a 4x4. But at Xplor, there is a smaller version of that, and it's just like an amphibious vehicle. You feel like you're in the Jurassic Park and you just drive around. And if I'm being honest, it was terrifying letting my husband drive through this jungle, but when I look at the pictures, it really wasn't that bad. I was just over-exaggerating it, right? At one point during the zip lines, you go over the highway, you go over the jungle. It's a whole experience. And I'm afraid of heights, but I did it because it was so worth it. And there's times where you're in the stalactite caves and you're swimming through the water. There's times you can paddleboard through the water, plenty of experiences. There's even a swing that will swing you down into like this water area. So it's a really cool place to be. The next park I'm going to talk about is Xel-Ha. Yeah, Xel-Ha is definitely for the water lovers, okay? Xel-Ha is this beautiful inlet area where freshwater and salt water actually mix. So you're not going to get perfectly clear water, but it's always a good temperature water, and it's always really cool to see the fish in there because you're going to see a lot of them. They have different ecosystems in there to keep the fish coming, but they also have nets, so you're not worried about anything bigger than what they let in there, okay? We did the underwater walk, so we put on this like giant helmet, and I'll roll a footage of that. Roll footage! And what it was is they put a helmet on us and we walked on the bottom of the sea floor, and we walked from one side to the ladder and then we walked on the other side, and they were like in front of us sending us heart rings and fish and stuff like that. It was really cool. They had this little food feeder so the fish would come in front of us. There's plenty of extra stuff that you can do with these parks, but most of the things that you're going to be doing is all included. When we talk about the all fun inclusive, we really mean that all of these things are included, okay? Everything I've talked about so far, I didn't pay anything extra for, all right? The underwater sea trek is extra, but the hotel gave me a credit for it, so I still didn't pay for that. The next one we're going to talk about is the cenotes. So the cenotes are these beautiful real life rock formations out in the jungle. You have to trek to it, but the transportation is included. They take you out there with a tour guide and they give you an entire tour. I think it's 4 or 5 different cenotes. And we did swimming, we did rope gliding, we did jumping off cliffs, we did all kinds of things. And it's a really beautiful place out in the middle of the jungle. You have a picnic with your tour guide and you get to take some amazing photo opportunities because they bring a photographer with you so that they're taking photos the whole day for you. It's really pretty out there. One of the great experiences that I had at this hotel is we were at Xel-Ha, the place where it's about an hour drive. And, you know, when you're leaving the bus, they say, make sure you've got everything. And I was sure I had everything, but I didn't. I didn't have my cell phone. So I have just spent an entire day taking beautiful pictures, under the water, videos, all kinds of stuff. And I have now just lost my cell phone in Mexico on a bus that is now no longer at our hotel because I didn't realize I lost it until after dinner. And so I went to the hotel and I was like, I know there's probably nothing that you guys can do, but I lost my cell phone. And they immediately were like, yes, let's get a concierge. The concierge came over, started asking me a couple of questions. He's like, our security isn't on right now because it's a little late, but we're going to report this. And in the morning, we'll give you an update, okay? And they were really concerned. In the morning, they called us. They said, we still don't have an update. Go ahead and go to breakfast and then come down to the front desk and see if we have anything. And then that morning, as soon as we were done with breakfast, they said they found my phone. They're going to bring it back when the tour comes back tonight, and I'm going to be able to get my phone. So as soon as that tour came back, which was like 6 or 7 o'clock that night, they brought me my phone and they said, we see it was your beautiful face on the lock screen. So we found your phone for you. We're so glad that we found it. And it was amazing, guys. I really thought it was gone. There was no way I was getting it back. But they were top-notch service. And throughout the entire trip, they were so amazing. I have so many good things to say about them. I'm here to be your free travel guide. Let me know how I can help. Subscribe, like, follow, and share to help me. And remember, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about XCARET Hotel, let me know.